is definitely one of those rides where you're like, why did I get up for this? I just got soaked by some fucking car. But I have a good reason. I have a reason for being out here. I wanted to put this Gore stuff to the real test. I got the C5 jacket, jersey, and thermal bibs, but specifically the jacket. I caught wind that they think that this jacket does really good in the rain, and I didn't really totally believe them. So I figured the best way to find out was to test it out in some proper rain. Oh, it's real! It's really coming down out here! It's really real! What the hell am I doing out here? I don't wanna... there may or may not be a slow leak, which is not... This is sub-ideal. Not a good... I just... It's like that. Every time I see a woman I love. Should note that absolutely none of this gear is touted as being waterproof. It's all water resistant, and I just kind of wanted to see what the boundary was with it. How far can we push it? And apparently it's pretty far. It's like way around the next corner. And then you make a sharp left and it's past the convenience store. Status report, 50 minutes in, temperature holding steady at 41 degrees. I'm feeling pretty good. This thing's keeping me pretty dry. The jacket is definitely holding its own. I can't tell, I might be a little damp in the elbow, but I might not be. I just can't tell. Gloves, unfortunately, they're the first to go. They're a little damp on the fingers, but it's way better than not having anything else. My shoes are soaked, my feet are wet. Part of that is because of the cars driving past me and splashing all of their wonderful road muck into the top of my shoe cavities. This is always the culprit right there. So, but wool socks, they help, but they're still wet, so I don't, okay, let's just, okay. Oh, it's steep. It's really steep. Wow! Hey, can we get someone to clean up some of these leaves? It's really slippery. I fear somebody might slip and fall. I just talk about the bibs. They're holding out fantastic. I totally thought these were gonna soak through way quicker, but legs are warm, feeling kind of dry. The rain did stop, but still. C5 thermal wear crash course results. And the ride by the numbers, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 23 miles, and 1,300 feet of elevation. That was wet, and that was cold. But I'm glad that I did it because I really wanted to test those things out and just see how they handled in the real deal world. All right, let's break down how this stuff did. From toes to nose. Oh, and I should note, the whole ride today, raining and 40 degrees, solid the whole time. So that's your reference point. Socks, soaked, just those are wet. As I said before, these are awesome, but they did get wet. They soaked through, all the way through. I still love them, but you know, don't take it personal. It's just, it's not you, it's the rain. And well, maybe it's a little bit you. These did really good. They're not waterproof gloves, and I don't expect them to stop the water. They just resist it. Like a fun, what is resistive? Sorry for all the autofocus shots. I got a new camera and I'm still trying to figure out. Gore C5 thermal long type bibs. What are they called? I tend to run a little cold, so I always want the warmest, thickest as many layers as humanly possible. But even though these aren't the thickest, warmest things in the world, they actually did quite well. No, they're not supposed to be waterproof. They still got wet, but I was still warm, and it just, you know, I gotta say it again, I was surprised. Look at these braces, they're so technar, it makes me feel like a pro athlete. I personally would probably want these just a little bit thicker. If you don't live in a super cold spot, these are gonna be a solid match for you. Viz on the legs, you know, it's great because they're moving all over. It's why not show a little bit of visibility? We're riding some hairy ass scenarios anyways. Every little bit helps. A couple critiques I have for the thermal bibs. One, I want to see these as waterproof. I mean, why not? What a world it would be to have waterproof thermal bibs. Perhaps this is technically impossible, but if it's not, we gotta see it. I mean, gore, rain, gore, waterproof, gore, gore. I'm just saying. The other thing I'd like to see on these is some pockets. Yes, pockets. I feel like they should just be pretty much a standard on almost all bibs because whenever they're there, people use them, and if people don't want to use them, they don't have to, but they could still be there. And the last one is almost just a little bit of a wish list kind of a thing. I would maybe like to see these in some different colors. Like, what if they were brown? Oh, how dare you. I'm just saying, like, it might be kind of cool. Although black is pretty timeless, so, yeah, that one's probably pretty, I don't know, I'm just saying. What if they were purple? All right, the upper half. The Gore Thermal C5 jacket. I feel like I put this thing through the ringer. I pushed this to the edge of what it can handle, and it was exactly what I needed to do. This thing is thick, it's functional, it's great. As I've said before, it comes with a nice chunky Vislon zipper with this fantastic slider pull, which you can get while you're wearing thick gloves or when your hands are freezing cold. Such a nice detail that is often very overlooked. Not by this piece, thank God. This thing's super thick. I don't know how cold you could push it with this, but I feel like freezing is probably within the realm of this jacket. Not that any of us want to ride in the freezing cold, but you know, things happen. Okay, the rain. How'd it do in the rain? What's the deal? Really good to a point, and then eventually it soaked through, which I expected to happen because it's a soft shell. It's not a rain jacket. But what it did do really well was resist the rain for a lot longer than I expected. So if you're out in it and you don't expect it to rain, this is a solid option. If you know it's downpouring, bring a rain jacket. One point of criticism I have to give is the middle pocket, fantastic, perfect. The two side pockets are just a little too small. They're hard to get my hand in and out of, especially if you're trying to put like a phone or something in there. They're just a little tight at the top. And I don't know what happened there, but come on, we can't, if I have a glove on, there's no way I'm getting my hand in there. Those pockets still work, but they're a little snug, so that's my criticism. And I really like this gripper elastic on the back of the jacket. It's a nice value-added touch. It just feels kind of professional. With the reflective details, how can you go wrong? One other detail I forgot to mention that I really like about this jacket is they have the added Lycra extra cuff thingamawhatsit. But it's great because it stops wind from going up your arm and it kind of helps connect the glove to the arm, wrist scenario. It's great. I love this feature on all jackets that do it. So this did not go unnoticed. I thoroughly appreciated it. And the boots that I ran today in the rain are the Lake MX 145. I love these things. I've had them for several years. They do a fantastic job. They were completely soaked today, but you know, it's to be expected. The BOA makes them easy on and off when your hands are freezing cold. They do really good with water resistance, and the outsole is nice and grippy, so if you're on some slippery linoleum or so, they do quite well. I am constantly impressed with these crazy looking Technar boots. So, yeah. I think it's about a gator or like a spat or something, because the water always gets in here. I need a rain pant that goes over the cuff of the boot. That's okay, we just need. And of course wool socks, because they get wet but they stay warm. It's mission critical with these, yeah. There are links to all of this stuff below if you feel like perusing around on the internet and doing your own research and looking at all the things I forgot to mention. Please feel free. If there's any product that you want to see me put through the ringer, just let me know in the bottom, in the thing, the the fuck is it called? Put it in the talker box. Well, I hope you found that helpful, somewhat entertaining, and mildly informative. If there's anything you liked here, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, now might be the time. And I know you've been dying to know about this jersey shirt. Well, I got you covered. They are right here. I've got plenty of videos riding bikes in all kinds of weather, like this one, for example. Until next time, dear friend, this is Dustin Klein, signing off.